I remember being in the hospital in Memphis and they were saying, this is it. We think you need a heart transplant. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of, when it stops. That's not something good you want to hear.
So the first question, how'd you guys meet?
Oh Lord. We met at a revival. My friend was a drummer and he was like, "You want to play drums?" He knew I was a drummer. And so we ended up playing drums for him, and then her and her family walk in, and
Never seen Paul ever. My sister bumped me and said, "Who's the good looking guy on the drums?" And I told her, I said, "I don't know, but I will know before we leave." Did the worship, everything was great. Pastor dismissed the musicians. He stood up and got no taller. I don't know how his feet reached the pedals, but they did. It was hilarious. We almost fell out of our pew laughing. That was in November of 97.
yeah, right before Thanksgiving.
By January of 98, he asked me out for the first time. By February, we were engaged. We were married in April. And we have been married for 27 years.
Back in 2004 or 5, something like that. I was working on a job. I remember being up on a ladder and working, and it hit me so hard, I thought I got shocked. I thought that I literally got jolted, by electricity. And I got down, I was grabbing my chest going, "Oh my Lord, that was bad." And people were looking at me going, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." From that point, I was kind of like, I might need to get checked out. And it wasn't long after I had an issue. I was in a meeting at the job trailer, and all of a sudden I just basically passed out on everybody. I was just, then from there, it just kind of progressed.
In November of '08, he went in for his first true cardiac issue. Within less than 10 days, he had 7 heart stents installed. And that was in December. And then starting in January, about for the next 2 years, 3 years maybe, once a quarter, we were in the hospital at least a week at a time for them trying to figure out what is going on with his heart. In 2013, he had a major heart attack. And at that point, the lower left side quadrant of his heart became damaged. Then they started talking about the output of his heart pushing blood through his body was starting to lower gradually. Then he had his double bypass. They nicked an artery. Within 12 hours, he had to go back into surgery. His blood pressure was 60/40. They were pushing blood in him to keep him alive. 2020, 2021, they told us at that point that his ejection fraction rate was so low that they were afraid his heart was going to quit. And so they put a defibrillator / pacemaker in him. Since he's had the pacemaker put in, he's wrestled with low blood pressure. That's caused a whole new set of problems. He's had 4 strokes and a seizure. By August, we went in, we had a heart cath. Usually he's gone for about an hour, hour and a half for his heart cath. I'm used to it. We've had a bunch of heart caths. He was back within 20 minutes. And he told me then that there was nothing a heart cath could do for him. He said he needs a heart transplant, period. We started the process in September. Yeah, in September. We were referred to Vanderbilt. And by the end of September, we went and stayed a week in Vanderbilt for them to get their complete workup done. And that's basically where we're at. So with Vanderbilt, they're really good at what they do. They have it broken down almost to a science. He will spend 2 to 4 weeks in the hospital, depending on how his body accepts the heart. Even while in the hospital, he'll have to take adrenaline and things of that nature, and the insurance doesn't cover all of that. So that will be out-of-pocket expense. One of the things that we had to agree to is to stay within an hour of Nashville for up to 3 months.
That's for emergency.
For emergency care, for him to make, because he's going to have to go to the doctor and therapy at least 3 or 4 times a week. And because of that, we have to pay for housing. We have to pay for food. We have to pay, of course, for medication, the new medications that he's going to be on. And even though the insurance approves for the initial surgery, they don't provide for all of these other things. These are all expenses that are going to take time and it's going to cost.
To anyone who is looking at this video at this time, I want you to know that there's a God out there that loves you, that paid the price for you, and will not leave you nor forsake you in even your darkest hour. He will always lead you and guide you and protect you and hide you. And he loves you so much that he took to the cross for you. And even though I'm standing here, looking at a heart transplant, this, that, and the other, I know a lot of people, well, if you, believe in God so much, why isn't God touching you? Why isn't God healing your body? We don't always have to understand, but if we'll just reach up and grab a hold of that unchanging hand, he will always, always be faithful and to take care of you and see you through.